everyone, what's up? This is Simon from the Ionic Academy, back with a new quick win. So today we will use a little component that makes our life really easy. You might have used a select before, so this will present a list of options and you can check what you want to select. But this component also directly integrates a search bar and many more features to customize the appearance with buttons and different text and elements and all of this. So it's really amazing, and let's dive right into it and how we can use it. So I've created a blank new Ionic app, and first of all we go ahead and install the Ionic Select Searchable. So this is the component we're going to use, and I'll also bring up Ionic Surf in the background. And to use our Select Searchable, we need to import the Select Searchable module from Ionic Select Searchable. Perfect. And then simply go ahead and add this to the imports of your app. If you're using lazy loading, perhaps you might need to import it in the different pages, but in our case, in the basic starter, that's all we need. So here's the app, and perhaps let's bring up the Ionic Lab, which looks a bit nicer, and there we go. All right, so we've added the plugin, we've added it to our module file, and now we can go to our home TS where we'll build the functionality for this. So first of all, we also import the Select Searchable component in here from, again, Ionic Select Searchable, because we will use this as a view child inside our app. So we will give it an ID. By doing this, we can access the component directly from our class in here. So let's say you want to have a button and a bit different UI than with a regular select component. Then you can do it with this component. So it's really an amazing component. What we need as well is one user. So we will select a user from a dropdown, and this will be the NG model reference. And also we will have two versions of the searchable component, and the second one will store many selected users. So this is just for one selected user, and here we could have multiple selected users. And for some data, I will just bring in a dummy array I've created before, nothing really fancy. Also, we might need a little toast controller later down the road to present notification for some callback that's called by our component. So let's go ahead and implement, first of all, function, and let's call this user changed, and this will get an event from the component, and this will actually be a component, so select searchable component, and it will also have a value of the type any. And in here you can do whatever you want with the selected user. Perhaps we'll for now just log out our event, which holds those two values. We're not using it in here, just want to showcase what you can do with this awesome package. Then let's implement an onClose, so we can subscribe to quite a few events, and you can find all of them on the reference page of this plugin, or component, not plugin. And onClose, we just display a little toast, and there we go, message. Thanks for your selection, and do this for, let's say, 2 seconds, and then toast present, what I always like to forget. So those are the two functions we will call directly from our searchable component. And then we will also implement open from code to show how you could open our select component, which is the view child we defined up here. So simply say select component.open, and this will trigger the same behavior you're used to when you're using a select with Ionic. Okay, that's everything for the TypeScript so far. Let's see if the app still compiles. If it does, that would be a pretty good sign. that we did everything good. All right, there we go. Open the home HTML. Let's call this Ionic Searchable Select. Of course, I always give it some color, and then we can get rid of all of this and start implementing an ion item, ion label, select user. So just like a regular select component, and now you might have your Ionic select, but now we will use the select searchable component and close it somewhere. Now we need to pass in quite a few options. So first of all, we have to say this is item content. We need to reference our ng model, which is user. We've created the variable right here. So we're not using this array yet. This will be our single select for a user. Then we need, of course, some items for our list. And this will, of course, come from our users array that we've created. We need to specify the item value field, which is ID, and also the item text field. So what should be displayed for the item inside the list. And perhaps let's keep it like this for now. Let's see. So we got the select component just like you're used to from Ionic. You can see we got the 3 users, and I can select one and it immediately closes. We got a cancel button, but we don't have a search bar yet, and our function is also not calling any on change. So to add the search bar, simply say can search true, and on change we want to call our user changed with the event. So let's see what happens now. We go ahead and we see we got the search bar just like it would always look on the iOS device. So if I would search for whatever in here, we will find the user, we can still select it, and now we also get the event inside our user changed function. And as we defined also in our header, now in the function signature, this event consists of a component, which is the searchable component, and you could do whatever with this, and also the value of our selected object. So use it for whatever you want. And as you can see, it's only a few lines of code and you already got the search functionality, the checkboxes, a callback. So this is pretty amazing stuff. Now let's go one step further and implement select multiple users. And this is still super easy. The only thing we need to say is multiple true, and then we're basically ready. We still use the same items. We use can search. So let's see how this looks. And there we go. And now it's not closing after the first selected user, but I can make a selection of different users and then finally say, okay, and all the values will be added to our ng model, which should be actually user IDs, but no problem at all. So there we go. Everything is selected. Besides that, there are actually super many options. I just want to show a few more. So we already got can search. Let's say we also want a cancel button. So you can say can reset true. You can define the OK button text, whatever, proceed with users. You can set the reset button text to, I don't know, clear selected. What did we have as well? We got the on close. So on close, we want to call on close with an event, and make sure you got on close right. What else? Let's say the no items found text. I actually don't know why I made this an object, but let's keep it like this. So no users found. And for now, that should be enough. So now we see we got two buttons down here. If I select something, I can clear our selection. We see the toast controller. Perhaps we could even prevent window closing once we've cleared this. We can search and get the custom search text. We got the proceed text for the OK button. And perhaps the last one, let's call this should store item value. Of course, that's not what I came up with, but it's something from the component. And then we will see that the user's IDs selected will now be an array of just the IDs. So of course, make sure to use this. If you use should store item value, let's see this in action. And then we see we only got the IDs of our users. If we put this back to false, we would have the full user objects again. So you see now two objects. That's just something you might need in some situations, and you already see how many options we can define on this package. But let's wrap this up by putting our button below everything, color, primary, whatever, and then on click, open from code, because maybe you don't like this UI. You want to fully hide this but still have the select. So in that case, simply hit open and okay. Of course, if we use the view child, we should also assign an ID to our component, and now do it again. And there we go, same component like before. We can select, we can do all the things we did before, and we don't have to use the standard select UI. All right, so that's it for the quick win of today. I hope you enjoyed this. It's actually a super awesome component. Go ahead to GitHub and make sure to give a heart to the creator of this Ionic searchable component. And also make sure to leave a note if you have used it in any of your projects or if you encountered any problems. Also, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more Ionic videos. And also, second, check out the ionicacademy.com, which is my special Ionic learning platform with courses, projects, and an awesome community to support you learning Ionic. So have a great day, and I'll catch you inside the next video.